Alright, what's going on, guys? So, on this episode, we are going to make a couple of jewelry boxes. Now, sometimes buying materials and woods gets a little bit expensive. I've been running the last couple of videos on scrap woods and stuff like that I've, recently acquired. It's free, it's nice, it's easy to work with. Hell, any wood's easy to work with. But the point is, so I've made a couple of jewelry boxes, and I'm going to give you a close-up here in just a moment. But what it is, we're going to take a piece of walnut. I haven't really decided what I want to make it out of. I'm thinking walnut, but jewelry boxes, scrap pieces, you got certain kinds of pieces of wood that you might not be able to use for certain projects. There might not be enough there, but you might get like a piece of quarter stock that's a foot or two long, perfect for small boxes, small projects such as that. Right, so like I was saying, there's scrap woods, they're amazing. You might not have a use for... So just pieces like this. This is a piece of walnut. I believe it's 4/4 stock. I believe it might be 8/4. I'm not real sure. I'm not sure of the sizing. That's kind of bad if I don't know the sizing. But anyway, so a piece like this you might not be able to use for a larger project, but it's perfect for these small box items. I can't take credit for the design. I did see somebody else make the box, but it's perfect to make gifts for your wife. If you ever want to get out of trouble or something, give your wife a jewelry box. She'll enjoy it. So on this episode, we're going to make some jewelry boxes. I've decided I want to use walnut, and we're going to do a square lid style. I just made one yesterday. I loved it. It turned out great, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Thanks for joining. Right, so I have decided what I'm going to do. We have already cut and made the box. Now, I apologize, I didn't show you how to cut that. Really what you want to do is you want to measure out your box, how wide you want your piece and how long you want your piece. Start with that generic shape. Go about a 1/2 inch long, maybe an inch long, just to give yourself some room to play. This is at 8.5 inches, because I'm going to put 1/4 inch tenons on each side. That way you have room to play with. Now what I've used is I'm going to go ahead and accent it with some curly maple. This stuff is beautiful. You can see it in all different end grain, everything. You can just see it. It's an amazing piece of wood. So I think this will look amazing on the sides of this. I'm thinking about making the grains stand up and down instead of sideways, because most of these boxes I see they're sideways. I think an upward striation would be really nice. So this is what I've committed to here. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to cut this down first, and we'll go ahead and get it fitted for the box lid. Alright, so to give you an idea of what I'm trying to figure out at this point is I'm taking the lid in the bottom. I know that I'm going to have them set and flush on bottom. I just love that look for some reason. But I want to determine how much I want on the edges, how far out I want the box to have lip from the side pieces, and how tall I want it. So all I'm doing at this point is I'm coming up with a general size. Right, so at this point I've got my two pieces. They are not cut to size yet. I've got them overcut. They're not square by no means. I just cut 2 large chunks off that I was wanting to work with. I'll figure out what parts of this piece I want to keep. I'll get a size dimension, and we'll go ahead and get them ready to be made for the size of the box. So, obviously I've decided we're going to use these two really, really beautiful pieces. And I think I want to make the curls stand upright, which should be fine. Now I'm going to get plenty out of this one here, and plenty out of this one here. Alright, so we're at a point we've got our sides figured up to shape, the size we want. I'm starting to think that we need to cut a sliver off the edge and kind of thin these back a little bit. So I've begun to realize it is a beautiful day. It's very cloudy out, but that is okay. It's cool in the shop. It's a good time to make something. So let's go ahead and continue on with this box. I've went ahead and I've cut down my side pieces. Just beautiful figure, or curly, whatever you want to call it. It's even in the end grain. It's just amazing. So I'm loving it either way. Anyways, so we've got the side pieces cut down. We're going to go ahead and get the tenons drawn up for the box itself. We're going to go ahead and get the mortise drawn up for the side pieces. We'll get it on the router table and get it routed out. For my style box, this is going to be tricky because it's a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here, but the distance on this side for the tenon is going to be a little different since the back is thicker. So make sure you accommodate for that if you decide to go the route I'm going. Most of the time you can just go a 1/4 inch all around and then knock these corners out and make a tenon right here. So basically all this is going to get removed, and a 1/4 of an inch off this side going this direction. This will all get removed. Right, so we're going to go ahead and cut the edge guides of our tenon. I'm going to go ahead and do the larger one first, which is right underneath a 1/2 inch. We're going to go ahead and do it, flip both pieces, go ahead and get that knocked out. That way our 1/4 inch mark, we'll have 4 cuts to make for 1/4 inch and just 2 for this size here. We're going to go ahead and get these cut out. I'm using a stop block, just a piece of walnut, but that way I keep the same size on each side.